Hey guys, I know I've gone into this subject a little bit before on the video called Know Thyself. So you may want to watch that if you're interested in what I have to say today. Go watch that video too, just so that it can really get it in your brain, But for those of you who are new, you may not know about that video. So I would definitely watch that, but listen to this too, because I may say some new things in this one I didn't say before. Um, If there's one thing I've learned as a part of this great awakening of all the crazy stuff that's going on in this world, um, the darkest I was going to say the deepest, but I guess the darkest truth too is that everything comes down to good versus evil, love versus fear. So they're what we're trained to see only what we see in the physical and not to see things through our spiritual eyes or our third eye, through our intuition and through the subtle realms. That's why it's really, really important and really a good idea right now to train yourself to listen to your intuition and to do energy work. Whatever kind of energy work that is, it doesn't matter. Well, you don't want to mess around with dark energy. But aside from that, aside from doing any kind of black magic, I would highly recommend learning how to see things. That's why I also have a video called "How to Have a How." I think it's something about how to hold a divine guidance council meeting. That would be a really good video to watch to learn how to practice using your intuition on a regular basis. Because essentially, as I was just explaining to a friend of mine, which is what prompted me to do this video, is we have no idea that every little thing is influenced by demons. Every little thing we do, every little thing we say, every little thing we eat, every little step we take. The demons are orchestrating behind the scenes. They hate that I'm saying this. The demons are orchestrating behind the scenes to make us stumble, to have an accident, to get sick, to eat something that's poisoned. Um, they can put spells on your cats. They can make you, have, I don't know, it's endless. And the way that they do it is oftentimes most of the time they whisper in your voice, in your child's voice, in your animal's voice, or in their head through a voice that sounds, you think that it's your voice, that it's your mind that's saying it, but it's not you. It's evil, getting you, when you're not paying attention, when you're not present in the moment, it's getting you to buy into the story that they're telling you. So you may feel, somebody may do something and suddenly you feel angry and you feel justified in that anger, and boy, this person should do this certain thing, or how rude, that kind of thing. That's a demon that just, they come in like in a bubble, in a thought form, and they come drifting in, and they're always ready. Not only are they ready for that, but they're ready for the response of the other person. So they're whispering to the other person, how could they be so offended? If they knew the real story, they wouldn't be so angry with me. They're nuts. They're crazy to be coming at me like this. I'm totally innocent. I have good reason to be doing what I'm doing. That person is absolutely insane, and it makes me angry that there are people like that in the world that would be so hostile and volatile over nothing instead of asking questions. That person has that ego, saying that voice and listening to that voice if they believe it. That's why it's also super important we become more and more self-aware all the time, so that we can so that we can realize if something is negative, it's coming from a demon. If it's positive, it's coming from the angels. We are born enlightened. Like we are born without all of these stories, but we get trained as a society because everyone behaves this way. We buy into the idea of a past and a future. Look at that. That is a demon tickling my throat, trying to get me to not talk about this. So we are trained to virtually trained for everybody to behave the same way so that we all think the same way, that there's not anything going on in the spiritual world, that we're all just actually angry at that person for doing that thing. It's never us. Any insecurity you have, oh, I'm not good enough, oh, I haven't earned their love, oh, I haven't, all the things I did to her or all the things I did to him, whatever, and any of it. I've had them like say, they even use dust. The big thing lately is they use dust. They make your house smell like dust, or they whip up a bunch of dust, or they make your animals be like, all of a sudden they'll be going crazy about something. I want in that closet. I want in that closet so bad. I would just want in that closet, because the demon's trying to get them to do it. Trying to say like, oh, there's something really interesting in that closet. You can't live without. It's incredible. Wait till you get in that closet and get into that thing. Oh my gosh, it's the most exciting thing. And your cat or your dog are like digging. Well, I want in there. I want in there so bad. Not realizing they're listening to demons. They think it's their own head coming up with some kind of really great idea to get in the closet, get into the thing. They roll in a bunch of dust and get a bunch of dust mites, and makes them throw up for days, violently throw up for days. And then they I don't know, they scheme, they come up with a bunch of different things. Like, you may have gone by at that moment, like you let the animal in the closet and you just gave it some medicine or something. And so now the violent throwing up becomes, it's you. And now they don't trust you because you had just given them medicine when it wasn't the medicine, it was the dust mites or something like that. Or like, they'll distract you by whispering in your child's ear, oh, go do this thing and then go do that, and then the kid will go over there, fall down and do this thing, which then makes you get up and do this thing, that then you end up stepping, something falls on the cat and the cat and it creates all this chaos. And they've got it all down. They know how you're going to react, they know how the cat's going to react, they know how the kid's going to react, and it snowballs. Not only are they feeding off the negative energy from each of those things that are stressful or scary or whatever. I even like I mean, I could go on like for hours on the very specific ways that they've come after me and my animals on a regular basis all the time. And it's just this constant, like, looking out for them. Like, and they're looking out for me as well. So, and if you ever see your cat like get the zoomies, because I was talking to somebody at the grocery store and she's like, oh, I love when my cat gets the zoomies and just goes taking off down the hallway and and I was like, that may not be the zoomies. That may be something, so a demon or something playing with your cat, or some kind of dark force trying to scare your cat, or trying to jump in, or even be a walk-in, take over your cat or whatever, so that it can make you worry because your cat's sick and it hasn't eaten for days. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on, right? And I told the grocery store clerk this. I said, your cat may actually have some kind of dark force messing with it when that happens. I said, try this prayer. And I gave her a prayer to say the next time that happens. And it worked so well that her boyfriend his mind was completely blown at how well it worked. He's like, holy crap. He says, I should use that with other things in my life. And I'm like, yeah, we all need to be waking up to what it is. If you're ever upset with anyone, if you're ever insecure about anything, if you're anything negative, if you're mad about an injustice, if you're any of it, just realize that you've got demons whispering in your ear saying that. And the problem with you falling for it is you're causing whatever that chain reaction is that the demons are trying to ultimately produce in the end of it. The demons are after some kind of an end result. They want something. with you, with your specific situation. There's something that they're driving at, something that they want. So you got to get clever. You got to realize, number one, the second you have any kind of a like, okay, so I have a friend and she's really on it too, like I am. And she'll go, oh, somebody's trying to get me to resent you. And then she'll be like, I know that's not me at all. I would never think that. I would never have that thought about you. So I'm like, okay, let's clear it. So we'll do a clearing on it. She was like, so much better. It feels great. So we need to be willing to be flexible like that, and to see that something like that isn't us. Do a clearing on it, do a prayer on it, do something, and watch it just melt away. It's not even there anymore. This could be with your spouse. Say to your spouse out loud, something's trying to get me to feel angry at you right now. There's an anger feeling trying to get me. Something's trying to make me feel depressed this morning. But catch it and don't make it you. Don't say, I feel depressed, I'm feeling angry, because then you own it. And you've just given your permission. Whenever you entertain what the demons are saying, you then cultivate your ego, you make your ego stronger. And then you basically give the demons permission to have their way with you. You'll even get like false guides and spirit guides and stuff like that that come to mess with you after that, because you've said, yeah, I buy into that idea. I buy into I get angry and that people should treat me a certain way, or I'm going to be hostile with them. I buy into that idea. So you've basically bought into Satan. You've bought into the demonic forces. So we need to always check ourselves, even when they're coming after you, you're clearing your throat. That's demons messing with you. If you try to tell somebody how much you love them and you're blah, 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 and you can't get it out, that's demons messing with you. Why? Because you're probably going to make an incredible impact with that person once you get those words out. So force yourself. Make yourself say it. I love you. And I don't care if I feel like an idiot when I say it. I love you. You know what I mean? Push past what the demons are trying to do. You be clever and you think, what are the demons driving at right now? If I fall for this idea, if I fall for this, what happens or doesn't happen because I listened? Be smart. Think about it. Okay, if I have to clear my throat constantly, does that mean, oh, maybe I shouldn't talk about that? Or does that mean maybe I should? Like I've told you before, like when they, like Steve's Levtero, he's always getting headaches before he goes on. And he says he just like pops a couple of ibuprofen. And I'm like, dude, get a clue. That's an important message you're about to share, and the demons are messing with you. Say a prayer. You don't have to take a pharmaceutical. You don't have to buy into that whole idea that it's just a headache. You just happen to be getting a headache every time you go do a spread, you know? So like, don't believe that you're depressed. Don't believe that you're angry. Don't believe that person pisses you off, or this person makes you so impatient when you talk to them. Try clearing the energy. You'll be shocked at what starts to happen. Clear the energy. Don't believe it for a minute. Realize that everything, like, okay, if you like, I was just explaining to my friend several things that she knows happened. So I went to a restaurant and I got something that had they had sprayed a chemical down, like a somebody went and sprayed the counter where they prepare food with this really harmful cleaning solution that's a killer. I mean, it's terrible, really terrible for you to ingest. And nobody knows, oh, it's the best cleaner on the market, blah, blah, blah. Somebody sprayed down the counter with that. And then they went to make my dinner. And then they put my dinner right on it and started cutting it, thinking, oh, it's nice and clean and it's all sterile, it's all perfect. They thought it was perfect. They prepared my meal and they poisoned me. And I had a reaction to it. And I ended up having to take some supplements and things to get over it. But if you were to reverse it and go back through the whole situation that made me crave it, that made me hungry for it, they made her feel extra paranoid that she needed to clean the counter in that moment. Oh, did I clean it this morning or should I clean it now? And then the little demon's like, oh, well, make sure you use the real powerful stuff. You want to make sure it's really clean. Okay, yeah. The really clean stuff. Okay, and I'll spray it. Well, did I do that though? I don't think I did it earlier. Let me spray it again, just in case. Let me extra poison it. And then the guy who normally wouldn't have even prepared my meal on that cutting board in particular, usually would have done it over here on the wooden one. The one that doesn't get sprayed with all the chemicals and stuff. But that morning, the demon was after me. So he had the guy convinced to do it over here on this cutting board, the one that just got sprayed, the one that's still not dry. So that's how it all works. The demons, they know everything. They know all the steps. They know who to whisper to, what to do, how to influence this person, to do this, to think that, to feel that, and everybody's just going, whoa, they're just totally blind to it, just believing it all, putting doubt in people's heads and stuff. And if people are not self-aware about this process that happens, if they're not aware that they've been set up by demons every second of every day. I mean, that I just shared with you guys that, closing my or locking my cat in the garage. No, it didn't do any harm to her or anything, except that they were planning on, and what they wanted me to do is feel really bad about myself. And it backfired on them because that did not happen. That's how you start getting clever. That's how you start getting smart. It actually made us closer. And it made me be more, diligent in making sure. And they'll make you like forget too. They'll make you they can make you go, oh, was that important to me? I know there's something important going on. What was it? I guess it's not important. And then later you're like, oh my gosh, those demons were messing with me, trying to get me to think that wasn't important anymore. And of course we realize it too late. So I want you to start thinking about everything that ever goes wrong. Everything that ever goes wrong. Any kind of ailment, any kind of I don't know, tripping over something. Do you remember how I told you that I went through that like JFK Jr. thing when he was like, "It's the plan is part of the dark side's plan. It's da, and all that." Do you remember how I had that epiphany about the toe, like cracking the toe or whatever? So here's how that rolled out. So 2 days prior to that book, I had been telling a friend of mine, like, I haven't been reading lately. I like reading, but the pressure starts to build up. I haven't been reading. There's all these books I've been needing to read. And now I've got even more books that I haven't read. Like, I have no time to read all these books. I really need to not watch my romantic comedy at night so that I can get some reading in. So they were already getting to me subtly, making me feel like I needed to read a book, right? So they had already been planting that seed, and I kept on that for a couple of days. I kept saying to my friend, like, I really need to make sure that I get some reading done. Like, there's so many things I really want to read. That was a demon already, and I was unaware at that moment. I was unaware that they were trying to like really press the point, or you need to read, you need to read, you need to read. It wasn't negative enough for me to really think that it was a demon, right? Then they had me trip on something. I remember stubbing my toe. And I remember going, oh, I'm so glad it didn't break. Because, when you break your toe, it's really, really, it hurts a lot. So I remember being relieved, but I didn't think anything of it. And I didn't pull my toe, or I didn't crack it or whatever. I didn't think a thing of it. Again, dupe number 2 in their plan. So they got the first thing in there, the pressure to read, and then the duping of then the toe stub. Then like the next day or so, I really need to read. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then I didn't. And then I just I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to read this book. And that's the book that's really calling to me right now. That's the one. I keep looking over at him. I keep looking at his picture, and there's something about that guy's story I need to know. Now, that was true. And I did need to go through that. The angels and the demons almost like work together because there are some things that you're supposed to know. So there was a reason that I did go through it, but it's all, we've got this constant like angels versus demons thing going on constantly. So that's that night that I ended up staying late all night and getting traumatized from it and all that stuff that I went through, which ultimately, like all things work together for good. Romans 18:38, I believe. Um, but so it all worked out to my advantage because I know how to turn everything around. But that's what they do. And all of a sudden the next morning, an angel, somebody from the good side whispered in my ear, crack your toe. Remember to crack your toe. And I was like, the toe thing. I was like, dang, I learned that like years ago. Like I didn't even remember that. And sure enough, and I was taking like all these anxiety products. I was taking Mintran and Neuroplex and what else was it? Plus, Manitech Plus. And I was taking like four of each of them or something for that first night or two. And I was still like shaky. I was like, I was traumatized. I was like freaking out. So yeah, and then all of a sudden I was just like, wait, yeah. And then the whispering in my ear, like, crack your toe. The minute I cracked my toe, I was instant relief. I stopped taking the products. I think I tapered down to like 2 Mintran or something. That's about it. Maybe 2 plus for like twice a day, something. And then the next day, nothing at all. Because I just kept cracking my toes. Then once the whole ordeal was over, there was no more cracking needed. For a minute there, they were cracking and cracking and cracking. So that was all demons. Because the demons kept putting him out of alignment again, putting my toe out of alignment again, putting it out again, putting it out again, putting it out again, putting it out again. So you would think that that's a normal thing. Oh gosh, what's up with my toes? Why do I keep having to crack them over and over and over? Well, you're getting played with, getting played with, getting played with. And then finally, once I was over the whole thing and I got my wits about me again and I stabilized, then the toes stopped cracking. The toes stopped, they've stayed put since. So that whole thing was a setup, all from the beginning. The little voice starting, you need to read, you need to read. So we just have to be so aware. And with as aware as I am, I still didn't catch any of that. I mean, I knew obviously when I was getting attacked during the book, I started to clear the book and stuff, and I started to realize, I don't know, I'm not feeling very good right now. This doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel good. But I wanted to gather the information and push through and gather whatever I needed to get for you guys too. And for awareness sake. I knew there was something in there I was supposed to find, and I did it. I found it. But again, I'm not getting any water. I'm not getting any water. Um, anyway, just become more aware that almost everything you're doing, almost everything that you're saying, almost everything you're seeing, almost everything, your place becoming a mess. If you're looking around going, oh my gosh, my place is in total disarray. I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. I haven't that they make your floor sticky. See that stumbling over my words? That's demons. Sticky floors, that's demons. Tripping over something and then you get mad at your kid. You always leave your toys out. Stop it. Put something away. Jeez, that's demons. So be conscientious. Be really clear about what you do in every moment. Bliss everything. Bliss your food, your water, every single thing that you do for a while. Because until we're enlightened, we're going to continue to get duped like this. We're going to continue to get attacked, and we're going to continue to I can't even tell you all the stuff that's happened to my poor animals. I mean, just making them obsessed with something, or messing with their heads, or telling them things that aren't true. Yeah, I have people watching my channel that are doing these things to me too, so I don't want to use too specific of examples. um yeah, so just know that until we're all enlightened, or until we all realize who we are, and we don't have the ego anymore, and we don't have the influence of that ego, which is negative thought forms, which are sent by demons, um, we're going to keep getting messed with. So be wise and push against it. And whatever they're trying to accomplish, whatever they're trying to stop from happening, make sure that thing freaking happens. You know, if they're trying to get you to mess up at school, study even harder. Be really diligent about it. If they try to make you all sleepy so that you don't go do the thing, then go do the thing and do what you can. Do some qigong or something that'll help you wake up and get some energy. If they're having you avoid or procrastinate with something, just keep strategizing on what are the demons trying to get me to do, and then do the opposite of that. Why would they want me to eat something bad right now? Or why would they want me to trip? Or why do they want my house in disarray right now? Oh, because angels come into tidy homes. I better clean up. I better make the time, prioritize that, and I better do it step by step really carefully so I don't trip on anything while I'm doing that. You know, we can't really relax right now. We can't really just totally relax and let our guard down. And definitely do not think that any kind of negative thoughts that you're having are you, because they're not. And don't let them win. Don't let them get you upset with somebody. Don't let them trigger you. Do not let any of that happen, because they feed off of that negative energy and you're just fueling the demons. And be praying and affirming and thinking positive thoughts. Because when you're doing that, you're choosing the angel side. When you're choosing to think the more optimistic thought, when you push through and you're brave, and you push through and you do this and that and the other thing, and you tidy the place up, that's you choosing angels. So and whatever your default is, what you're going to be pulled into. So um just do a lot of affirming. And I teach a lot of this stuff to the daily boosters behind the scenes in the daily booster videos that I do. I've given you guys a lot of information. I've told you how to or I've told the daily boosters how to make, holy water, all the things the dark side doesn't like that you could use, all the different tactics, all the different, like, I'm constantly not only protecting them, but giving them the tools and things to use for themselves too. So if you're dealing with black magic, or if you're just curious how all of that works, then hopefully this gave you some more insights. It's very we just need to start becoming much more aware of what they're doing in all the various ways, and all the very tricky, manipulative ways that they're using to try to turn us against each other, and to try to get us upset with each other, or to doubt ourselves or anything like that. So I hope this helps. And I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. So I was going to say too, though, that pay attention to your animals, in the sense that if your animal's like sitting and staring at you, or meowing at you, or barking at you, it could be that there's a spirit around. So you could do a prayer about that. I do give a really good, strong prayer to the daily boosters, as well as anybody who orders a consultation. So if you do have a remote reading with me, I'll definitely share that with you. But consider yourself, like, if they are attacking you like crazy, it means that you're doing something, or you are somebody special. Maybe you're an angel, or maybe you're I don't know, here to do something pretty incredible, or you're really influencing people in a positive way. So again, it's just like going back to, like, wow, I must be doing something that's going to be important or something. Or if they're whatever they're trying you to not get you to do or not be happy about, that thing might be really life-changing for a lot of people, not just yourself, but it might affect a lot of people in a really great way. So that's why they come after you a lot, because they're trying to head off what's coming down the road that's going to be really, really great and impactful in a really positive way. So of course that's the end of the demons. If everyone's overjoyed and having a really wonderful time, it's going to be hard to get them in a negative state. Um, so and then they don't have any lunch. They don't have any loosh. So, yeah, so don't think that it's a bad thing if you're getting attacked. It's actually a really good thing. It's a really good sign. It just means that you got to really be on your toes. And it means you have to really anchor down into your intuition more all the time, get better at energy work, get better at all the things that you do your healing work so that you're not easily triggered, you know, and do what you can to mature and to get off of any drugs, any alcohol, any kind of bad influence in your life. Get away from that, get away from people pleasing so you have good, clear boundaries and you can see clearly. Start being really honest with yourself, all the things that are going to help you battle these guys, because otherwise you're going to find yourself getting in accidents and having all kinds of tower moments happen that just happen from you being duped, which is very, very easy for them to do if you're not aware. So, yeah. Okay. Hope that helps. Bye.